Oi, oi. I don't know if there's anybody in here, but it's all good. I just thought I would jump on and, I've noticed there's a little bit, there's a few people out there that's getting a little bit, having some issues crop up as far as with the mentals. And I can feel it. That energy out there is a little bit heavy. So I thought I'd actually jump on and see if anybody would come on, if anybody wanted to chat or bring anything out there or whatever, and see how it goes. But we'll give it a little bit, see if anybody comes on. But it's, I just noticing some friends of mine too that have been going through it a little bit. I messaged one this week, and because I noticed I'd been pulling away from some people, and I got a hold of this one person, and they were saying, yeah, they've been going through it a little bit. So it's, I thought, you know what, let me bang out a live, and see if anybody wants to chat. But if nobody turns up, all good, not a problem, not a problem. But I was going to talk about, words that we use on ourselves as well, because when we go to those areas where we're starting to feel it a little bit, or we're going to those areas where it's starting to pull us in a direction that we don't want to be going in, it's quite easy to start falling into the defeating words. And a lot of those words, especially when I work with my guys, I try and avoid, and I remind them of what they're saying. And that's the first one is what I did a message on today in a vlog, on a YouTube vlog, which is that word perfect. Terrible word. Horrible word, perfect. It doesn't fit. And the reason it doesn't, oi, matey, how you doing? I hope you're doing all right, matey. I don't know if anybody else is going to be turning up, but hey. But I'm talking about words that we use. And noticing there's a lot of people that's been having a bit of a rough one, and we have a tendency to start throwing words at ourselves that defeat us. And there's also the words that I constantly remind my guys about. One of those is perfect, which I did a video on. Don't exist. It don't exist. We're always trying to gain something that's not there. And other words like you have to, and shoulds and shouldn'ts and need tos, and we throw those words on us, especially if we start feeling certain emotions like guilt and resentments and anger and shit like that. We start to push certain defeated words that end up just pulling us in the wrong direction, completely in the wrong direction. So, but I hope you're good, Chill. How you doing, mate? You doing all right? Yeah, perfect. It doesn't exist. I bet Mrs. Buddha's perfect. Yeah, for sure. But it's I always use that word. Always use that word perfect. It was like part of my vocabulary. And now when I say it, sounds really strange when I say it, because I just took it out. Different kind of perfect, huh? Yeah. No, nothing is nothing. Even I've been married 30 years, and it isn't. No such thing as perfect. Absolutely no such thing. There's always a way we can improve. There's always things we can learn. There's always different directions we can go. There's, disagreements that we have, right? Got to keep trying to get better, right? Right. It's a conscious thing. It's a conscious effort, actually. There's an awareness to it. And when I work with my guys and they come on and they use those words, I'm like, whoa, hold up, time out. And you do it over and over and over again. And in the end, they start to realize. And then once you start to realize, and you can start gripping onto them a little bit, because there's an awareness of it, you start to shift things just with words, just with things you say. And not only that, it's like when you call yourself an idiot or stupid, or they're really, really, we take it for granted. I think it's just simple words that just bounce, and they don't bounce, they stick. Because the brain doesn't know any. It doesn't know any. You could be joking about it, but it's going to take it serious. It's going to take it serious. Trying to be perfect is like a fruitless endeavor, but trying to be better every day is a more healthy way to think about it. Yeah, little bit better each day. Little bit better each day. It's like I say to my guys. I got a new one. Second time I saw them this week, and I said to them, I'm like, it's not easy. It's not because you're asking the brain to do something completely different to what it's used to, and that, even though that may be telling ourselves bad shit and dragging ourselves down, it's the norm. It's what we're used to, and throwing ourselves and calling ourselves stupid and silly and an idiot and all kinds of shit like that. I mean, it's just the norm. It becomes the norm, but it doesn't have to be the norm. And it's a matter of just start changing it. I mean, when I was in England, my mum was always saying it. I'm like, don't say that. She's like, what? I'm like, you're calling it? I'm like, no, don't do it. It's not good. It's not good. It's not a good thing to keep calling yourself certain names, especially if you've got any kind of insecurities around not feeling good enough, and then you call yourself stupid. It just adds to it. I definitely say negative stuff to myself. Yeah, right. It's not a good thing, mate. It's not a good thing. It really ain't a good thing, because and you keep compounding it every time you say it, because we say it so many times, and a lot of the time we don't even realize we're saying it. But you're just constantly compounding whatever it is you're telling yourself. I'm not good enough. Is basically what you're telling yourself. I'm not good enough, right? With a lot of what we say. So then the brain thinks it's not good enough. So when the brain thinks it's not good enough, there's a whole myriad of different shit that comes with that. As soon as you start telling yourself you're not good enough, I mean, it's like, now you don't feel up to anybody else, or you don't feel you're like the same level as somebody, or you start comparing, and it's not good. It just snowballs into more shit. One thing after a bloody another, well, then it just starts downward spiraling. And once you get in a spiral, it's hard to pull back out of that. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. I was saying in the beginning, I don't know if you heard me, matey, but it's bloody. There's a lot of people out there kind of dropping a little bit in a minute. But you're almost at 210. Does that make you anxious, or does it make you pumped? Because it's more people trying to be, but the second. The second. I mean, it's exciting, and don't get me wrong, it's nice, because as soon as you get another subscriber, I know with me, as soon as I get another subscriber, it's like another, feather in the cap kind of thing, doing the right thing. But yeah, it's just getting that community and building the community up more, because that means more and more people, and the more and more people I can build up a community with, and the more and more people get to know who I am. And I'd like to do talks and shit like that, and stand out there in front of people, and do certain things like that, and travel around maybe. But it's got to take taking off and getting recognised. So isn't it crazy how you used to be anxious because a lot now you can get. Enough of this. Say it again. Hang on. It's right behind the bloody art. Isn't it crazy how you used to something anxious because a lot now you can't get enough of this? I know I can't get enough of this. I know. I used to. Oh, that's what you're saying, right? I used to be anxious with it. Yeah. I used to be shitting myself. Don't get me wrong. I still get a little bit of I don't know if it's the buzz of it or whether I'm anxious or what, but I get a little bit of I don't know if it's fear exactly. But there's something that kicks in where I'm like, oh, and then once I hit the button and it starts doing that old timer down, and then it goes on live, and I see you're live. It's like, okay, and I get it, and then I start to calm a little bit better. Yeah, same. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? I mean, because I love doing this. I really do. It's like I start to want to do it now. You know, instead of having that like where I was doing it on like a regular thing, and then now I just bang them out there when I feel like it. And yeah, the Sunday morning's cool because people will understand the Sunday morning and turn up, hopefully. But just banging one out here and there. It's just me. It's a tool for me. It's a tool. It's an absolute tool, because it's, even though I'm sitting here, I know it's recording, and it depends on whether it's decent enough or not. You know, whether I keep it up there or not. But this is an absolute way of me using this for myself too, and it helps others because it's helping me. And even when I do my Friday vlogs and things like that, it's, you know, I start that. The better ones for me is when I just do it off the cuff and I just go, right, I want to go out. I'll say to my missus, hey, listen, I'm going to bang out a vid and I want to go out for a walk. And when I just go out in the afternoon and bang, that's normally me wanting to be like, I could have a little bit of anxiousness going on myself. And I think, you know what? And it might, I've even done them where I'm anxious about something and then I'll do a vid on it because it helps me. So, but it's helping other people too. So good practice. Right. It's just a matter of, you know, my youngest daughter, she had to do a 3-minute presentation. We had to time it and everything. So she comes and she goes, hey, listen, I'm going to do this 3-minute presentation and just explain, because she's in uni now, or college, before she gets onto, I call it all uni. But she had to do this 3-minute presentation explaining basically who she was. And of course, I'm like, right, I'll grab the lights. I had the lights out there, threw the tripod up, put the old camera on the tripod. You know, she aimed it where she wanted it and all that. And then she had to do it in front of people. So there was like, you know, my oldest, my youngest's friend, Tracy, myself. And we did this presentation. The funny thing is the first take was like spot on. It was crazy, spot on. It was even spot on down to the time. The timer started going right as she ended, and I'm like, holy shit! It was like bang. It was really good. And then my wife goes, I didn't start the record. Because she was messing around. She kept on getting up and like stuff. I'm like, just let it run. We'll let it hit. But no. So and then it was just a banging run through. It was really good. And then it didn't have the camera going. So then it took like, I don't know, 8 times after that, because then we got into laughing, and the dog grabbed a toy and it was squeaking, like the rubber of it was going on his teeth. And it's like, oh no. It all started going pear-shaped. Yeah. But it was, I enjoyed doing this. You do too, right? I mean, it's, you know, it's cool to do a little bit of filming. I like it. I just feel good. I guess there's not many people else coming on. It don't look like there's many people interested. Oh well. Never mind. Are you off work now then, matey? Because I know you said you had a bit of a bog down day. Was it last? I think it was last week. It was a bit naughty, wasn't it? Yeah, just put up a vid I made at my work Friday holiday weekend in America. Oh, I'll go and check it out, matey. Yeah, I've been checking out your shorts. Been checking that out, and I don't mean shorts. I mean shorts. Oh, you're off work at 10 a.m. What happened? Something happened last week, though. There was something happened last week. I know you said, I thought it was something with work. Maybe I was wrong. Checking out my britches. Right. Yeah. How's the surfing been? Has it been? It's been looking all right, actually. A bit calmer than normal, though. I don't know if that's right or what, but it just seems like they're not so they're not peaking so high or something from what I've seen, you know, from your videos before, especially from like last year time. It seemed that these ones are a little bit more, I just had to go in early and shit last week. Surf been good, pretty much more calm this year than last. Right, fall and wind would be better. Right, I've noticed it's been, and I don't know what it's been like on the coast here, because we've had like storms rolling around, which pulls shit in. But I mean, thank God they haven't, you know, they haven't been coming into us. We had that one that dumped a whole bunch of rain. We've had a shit ton of rain though this year. We've been, yeah, we've been hitting the old rain a bit. Smart cooking, noticing that. I just, you know, I mean, I don't understand surfing. I mean, I don't mean that I don't understand it as in not liking it. I just don't understand, you know, like I don't understand why people do it. Of course, you know, I'm different than that. But so I watch, I look at like what the waves are doing and things like that, you know. It interests me. Yeah, the hurricanes, mate. They scare me every bloody year. I mean, I live in the state, you know. I've got to put up with the rough with the smooth, right? Right, put up with the rough and smooth. I mean, I live here, so I used to complain about the sun all the time. The old current burn, bleeding hot as hell, and I'd keep on moaning, and I'd sweat more. Seriously, I'd seriously like be hot all the time and sweating all the time. And as soon as I was like, you know, the old current burn gives us bleeding life and keeps everything alive, and we need it. And all of a sudden, I wasn't sweating so much. Strange how that happens, isn't it? Brain can heal anything. I'll tell you that. You only got to put your mind there, and it will freaking it'll adjust. As soon as I shifted my bleeding, what I was telling myself about the bloody sun, it changed. Move up here, you'll need some wool stockings and a cap. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. For the old current bun. Excuse me. You know, when I lived up in Germantown, our first apartment was, I think it was 2,000 feet above sea level. And when we got the snow and that, holy shit, and we didn't have any money or anything. So we had this little tiny heater, and we basically just stayed in one room of the apartment, because as soon as we walked outside, we could only really afford to like bang the heat on in this little heater in this room. But he used to get bloody cold. Blimey, did he? Yeah, it was cold. And the snow would be thick as balls, you know, it would be right thick. And then when we moved to the other part of Maryland, right near the DC border, really, we could have probably walked it. We got some good snow and that there and all. When it came in, it would really pull some bleeding snow in. And then I would be going up to I would go up to the homeless shelter, and I'd do some cooking in there. And I remember when the snow would come in, it'd be right up your bloody knees, like on the paving. So I used to go in the road, because I used to walk in. My missus had the motor, and it was over in DC. So I used to walk over the border and go over into DC in a like rough area of town and that. But the old snow, yeah, it used to be like right up. You'd have to go like this to like walk through it. So I used to walk in the bloody road. It's insane. I'm telling you. Yeah, every year I need 60s, 70s, more and more. Yeah, Maryland it can get naughty. It can get real naughty. But then it can get naughty here. I mean, we've had, with the heat index, it's been feeling like 110. 115 one day. So it's you know, it's like both ends of the bloody spectrum, isn't it? But at least I remember when we lived up north, we had the bloody seasons. It was lovely. It was really nice seeing all the colour of the trees and all that. We'd go over into Virginia and see the bloody see the tree colours and all that. It's beautiful. You lose your what? Your AC. Oh, dude, it happened last week. No, week before last, I think it was. Because we got an upstairs, and when the upstairs went out, of course, heat rises. And we got up to 90, I think it was 92 upstairs inside because the freaking air conditioner went out. And thank God it was nothing major. It was a capacitor or whatever. I don't know. Sounds like something out of Bleed Back to the Future, doesn't it? That's probably what I was thinking of. Probably ain't that at all. But it was an easy fix. And we've had the company we've had for years. And they keep us sweet like. And but the guy was saying that there's an area, there's a so many square mile area where that he works in, and he said they're all going down, like the same thing as what ours, because it's been so freaking hot. It has been hot. I'm really surprised that we haven't had something a little bit heavier come across the Atlantic and you know, smack us a bit. I'm quite surprised because we've had way less than this, and it's been way more naughty. You know, it's been way more naughty. But then you get, you know, when you get the tropical storms, the surfers love it because you know, you go down to Cocoa Way and all that, and the freaking waves are like. I've been down on some of the smaller like lake areas when there's been storms just starting to come in, and holy crap! Even that is like, you know, choppy as shit. But we've got someone else come in. It looks like. Who else has come in? I'll give it until the half hour. I'll give it 30 minutes, and then I'll close it down. This all of a sudden there's like freaking 20 people turn up. But my youngest asked me to help her out at one point, and I said, well, I'm getting on alive because I'd already arranged it. But I might help her out. She's got some shelving and shit. She wants some sanding down and stuff like that. So drop a tea. So I think we're gonna have a bit of nosh, and then I think the missus and I are gonna go out to a coffee place that we found, which is a really nice little coffee place. It's actually a chocolate place, but I do coffee in there and all, and their coffee's like outstanding. So good. Glad you got on. Good practice. And give the people something to click on later. Yeah. You know, I don't know where I'll leave it up. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I want to put it through my sound box again and get the headphones on, because then I can start bringing in some background sounds again and stuff like that. The whole damn box went down. I mean, it didn't completely, but it was just being a pain in the arse because I'd play my intro from the podcast, and then the bloody thing would lock up. I had no slide control, no nothing. It just locked. Couldn't pause it, stop it, nothing. It all locked up, and the bloody company's out in Australia. So when it got to an area where it started getting a bit too technical, I started emailing them out, and then I got on my missus, and I'm like, hey, can you help me out with this a bit? And they were going back and forth a bit. I think it turned out to be a bloody memory card or something. Crazy. I didn't think it'd have that kind of impact, but it did, obviously, because it's. But the thing is, I had to set it all back to default, which I can't. Musicians use these, and they program these things with all their, you know, guitar. You can plug guitars and mics and everything into this, and I can't. If you've got somebody that's like, really, I'm scratching the surface of what I can do. I want to use it more, but I'm scratching the surface. I was like a kid in a candy store when I figured out to Bluetooth my phone in, because all of a sudden now I can take phone calls on podcasts. So I was like, oh, what? But this thing is like a bleep display shit. It does all kinds of stuff. And I can't imagine that if you've got this thing all programmed out how you want it with pads and all that, especially if you're doing music, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you got to set it to default because I lost the internal settings, the pads and all that. Yeah, got that over on the computer. My wife worked that one out. But like the other settings, like when you're setting your mics and shit like that, what I had, yeah, that all went back to default. It's like, damn. Oh yeah, you can raise the volume on the podcast just a little. Yeah, it's way low in the vids. Yeah, I've got to do that. I think I've got to go into the setting. I know there's a setting in there where I can up the decibels on the mic, I believe, because I've got the actual Rode mic as well, which matches with there's a setting for it, and I just got Bosch. But I think I need to up it a bit. So thanks for that, because it's always good to hear a little bit of feedback, and then just adjust where I need to be. So does it need to come up a lot or just a bit? Because I can I'll adjust the actual internal bit, the setting there, and get the decibels up on it a little bit. But yeah, I started just banging out podcasts and that because one, I missed it, and I was like, oh, I want to do a podcast. So I got on. I've just been like banging them out and seeing how the equipment, make sure it don't. Because I was getting through start, I was getting about 3/4 of the way through, and because I don't edit, I was having to go right back to the beginning again. It was like becoming a bit of a pain in the ass. Just a bit. I listen when I'm mowing, so I don't want it to blow people. right. Yeah. It probably does need to, because I remember I listened back, because what I do is I'll do something and then I'll listen back at it and see how it is, because I've got all freaking settings on this thing, man. So I think that's probably what it is, because I haven't gone in there. I had the mic adjusted. Was it good before, like some of the original ones, like the volume and that? Probably all right, yeah. Because I know I go through and I go dop, dop, you know, to see what my levels are and keep adjusting. And so, and I haven't done that. I just wanted to bang out some podcasts because I was like, oh, I want to do a podcast. But yeah, I'll up it a bit, and I can do it on the slider as well a little bit. I think I can bring the volume up a little bit on that. I think just happened when you had the malfunction with the thing. Oh yeah, right, yeah, because I had it all adjusted. Because it takes a bit of time to get it like, you know, fully like tuned in to where I want it. Not that you can't just go straight up and plug it in and podcast, but I wanted to get it. You know, I wanted to get it where I wanted it, and it sounded like pretty all right where I had it, and then all of a sudden, I go to default, and I can't remember what I had it on, or might be an idea right now, right? Might be an idea right down a little bit, right? Just so I don't bloody forget it. But yeah, I love it, mate. I honestly sit here like, and my lights, the lights I've got are freaking crazy, dude. I'm going to set them up outside for Halloween as well, because I've got battery packs for them as well, and I can have like police freaking lights going, or paramedic things, and flashing and strobe and all that kind of shit. And I've got 2 of them. So and I've got the old I've got the wireless mics as well and shit like that. So yeah, I'm really I do enjoy it. It's a beautiful thing, because like I said, I use it as a tool, but with my work, it's my work that's funded this, really. You know, I started making money where I wasn't freaking really making anything, and then being able to invest in some stuff, and just to get that going, and then circling it back, you know, it circles back, helping. You know, I make a bit. If I pick up business, which is a beautiful thing, if I can pick up, which I haven't yet, but you know, if I can pick up a bit of business from it, awesome, great. You know, more the merrier, because that means people are getting the help. So, and like I said, I just started somebody recently, and I had the second one this week, and it's always. I just love what I do, man. I just really do. I was talking, I forget who I was talking to. I think it was Judith, my therapist, about it. And, you know, it's one of those things to where if you, even like when you got a hobby, because it's like kind of, even though my work is very serious, the mind, figuring out how this bloody works has become a bit of a fascination with me. Because I'm always wanting to know. And I'm always wanting to know what can be done, and learning from people, and stuff like that. Just see the mic in the bloody thing, not even using it. So you know, I'm a bit fascinated by it as well, and how it all works, and it's just freaking fascinating. And I never used to be into any of it. So it's like, the only trouble is because it's kind of my hobby as well. I'm never leaving work. When I read, I'm reading a Jay Shetty book right now, great book. And he used to be a monk. He was a monk for 2 or 3 years, and he's originally from North London. He's an Indian fella that's from North London. And he you know, he was going down the wrong path and all that. Got into being a monk. Became a monk, and this book is all about, you know, the teachings. And there's some really, really cool information in there, as far as like doing with your mornings and your routines, and you know, things like that. And the way you know, the different perspectives of how the mind works, and for different things that we may face on the daily basis. That's why I like Buddhism. So I love it. You know, I follow the Buddhism and Hindu, and because they all cross over, and Taoism, and whatever I can find that makes sense. It's, you know, it all becomes part of me also being able to help, because what I learn, I can, you know, help another person with it. So it's a blessing. But like my wife said, she goes, "You need a hobby," and I'm like, "I've got one," but it doesn't break me away from it doesn't break me away from work, because everything, even the shirts I wear, everything I do is wrapped around, you know, the mind and how it works and all that. But I do love it. So yeah, it's a blessing being able to do this. And I know there's another person in here. I hope you got some. I hope you got something out of this. And I'm gonna wrap it up. And thank you for turning up. Chill, appreciate you, matey. And whoever's on the side there, thank you for turning up. Appreciate you. And hope you have a great weekend. Come see us Sunday. 11 a.m. on Sunday mornings, Eastern time, Eastern US time. Come and see me on a Sunday. I haven't put the thing up there yet, the advertisement bit, but come out on a Sunday. We have a bit of a chin, and we do a bit of meditating, bit of breath work, and a chat around whatever subjects come up. Sometimes I have something in mind, sometimes I don't. So, but it's always been a good outlet for some people. So please come out Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time US. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming in. If you're tuning in after this, that you're coming in and you know, you get something from this. So namaste, everybody. Much love, one love. Thank you.